Ever wonder what the future holds? I mean, we're not talking like crystal balls and tarot cards here, but something way cooler, startup funding.
Oh, I like where this is going.
This week, we're diving headfirst into two really interesting sectors, environmental tech and enterprise software. We're going to see where investors are putting their money, what they think is going to be big, and trust me, it's a glimpse into a future you won't want to miss.
Yeah, because following the money always tells a story. It's not just about random companies raking in the cash. It reveals what solutions, what innovations investors are betting on to not only make money, of course that's the goal, but also to actually change the world,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So let's unpack this. We're looking at excerpts from Bearhug Recruiting. They do this really cool weekly roundup of early and growth stage funding.
They always seem to have their finger on the pulse of what's new and exciting. It's like they have this network of insider friends who tip them off about the hottest startups before anyone else.
Yeah. And what are those friends saying this week? What's hot?
Well, two big things are jumping out: sustainability and the automation revolution.
Two trends that could really shake things up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about stuff that has the potential to completely transform industries. I mean, everything from the way we generate energy to, well, I'd argue pretty much everything else.
So are we ready to dive into some seriously cool companies then?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up, sustainability.
Yeah.
This sector is absolutely exploding right now. And I think it's important to note, it's not just about saving the planet, right? This is
Yeah.
about smart business. I mean, investors are realizing that tackling climate change and all the environmental challenges, that's also a massive, massive economic opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like doing good and doing well, and a perfect example of that is this company, Lithios. They just got a $12 million investment for their, get this, their game-changing approach to lithium extraction.
Okay, so lithium extraction. Sounds interesting, but why should I care about that?
Okay, so lithium, right. It's like the heart and soul of batteries, especially the ones that are powering all those electric vehicles everyone and their mother is talking about these days.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Imagine a future where electric cars are just as affordable as those gas guzzlers. That's the future Lithios is aiming for.
Now that's a future I can get behind.
Yeah.
And speaking of clean energy, we got to talk about Heirloom Energy. They just snagged a cool $13.75 million to ramp up development of their wind turbine technology.
Yeah.
What makes them stand out?
Okay, so picture this, right? You need a wind turbine, but you're in a remote area. Maybe there are not a lot of roads or heavy equipment. Heirloom's turbines are designed to be easily manufactured, easily transported, and super easy to put together. Think like flat pack furniture, but for clean energy.
Love that. And they are serious about this. They're
Oh.
putting their money where their mouth is. Literally. They're building a pilot project in Wyoming.
Yeah.
That state is basically synonymous with wind.
I've been there. It's beauty. Imagine if we could harness even a fraction of that wind power on a larger scale. I mean, game changer.
Huge. And what I think is so cool about this? It's not always about creating something completely from scratch.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about taking something that already exists, like wind power, and just making it better, more efficient, more scalable.
Totally. Innovation isn't always about reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's about giving that wheel a superpowered engine.
Exactly. And that brings us to, I think, one of the most exciting trends out there, automation. I'm not talking about robots taking over the world or anything, although maybe a few cool drones might be
I
involved.
always love a good drone.
It's more about working smarter, not harder.
Right, 100%. And the company that I think really embodies that is Corvus Robotics. Okay, picture this. You're in this massive, Amazon-sized warehouse.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And instead of having people running around trying to find stuff, you've got these autonomous drones. They're like little flying robots zipping up and down aisles, scanning barcodes, managing inventory in real time.
Hold on, am I watching a sci-fi movie right now, or is this real life?
Oh, this is happening. Corvus is leading the charge in this warehouse revolution.
So no more those late-night inventory checks. Sign me up.
Right. But, it's not just about physical tasks, right?
Yeah.
Even stuff like accounting is getting a serious AI boost thanks to companies like Numeric.
Oh, yeah, I read a little bit about them. They're doing some really interesting things with AI.
Yeah, their platform is a dream come true for anyone who's ever had to wrangle a spreadsheet. I'm talking balance sheet reconciliations, variance explanations, all that tedious, detail-oriented stuff that makes you want to pull your hair out, automated.
No. So you're saying Numeric is like having a superpowered accountant, one who never makes a mistake and never needs sleep, basically. And get this, they've got some seriously big names using your platform. I'm talking OpenAI, Brex, Plaid, the list goes on.
Wow. When companies like those are signing up, you know it's a big deal. So we've got automation in the warehouse, automation in the accounting department. But what about all the stuff in between in the real world, right? There's this big push right now for what they call a circular economy, basically trying to keep resources in use for as long as possible so we minimize waste and our impact on the planet.
Right. It's about moving away from that old school take, make, dispose mentality. We need to reduce, we need to reuse, and we got to get way better at recycling.
Totally. And this company, Moog, with their robotic microfactories, this is where it gets really interesting. They figured out how to take apart electronic devices. So your laptops, servers, smartphones, and basically anything electronic, and recover the valuable stuff inside.
It's like giving all those gadgets a second life. Instead of them ending up in a landfill, those materials get reused. It's honestly brilliant. It really is. It's like this high-tech recycling revolution. And what's cool is that big companies like HP, Dell, ABB, they're all over this. They're even working with Moog to design their products from the get-go with this whole circularity thing in mind.
Yeah, and that's huge. It shows that this isn't just some niche idea anymore. This is becoming mainstream. It's about baking sustainability into the DNA of a product, right from the design stage.
Love it. Okay, so we've talked about sustainable lithium, wind power, even giving old electronics a second life. What else is cooking in the world of innovation?
Well, how about a company that's using AI to streamline something that's always felt, well, let's just say not very high-tech construction?
Oh, interesting. Construction is definitely one of those industries that seems ripe for a tech makeover.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? Self-driving bulldozers.
Not quite, although that would be pretty cool to see. This company is called Drawer AI, and they're focusing on something that's notoriously complex construction estimating, specifically for electrical work.
Okay, so full disclosure, I'm not exactly a construction expert. What exactly does construction estimating involve?
So imagine trying to figure out exactly how much all the electrical work in a building is going to cost before you even lay a single wire. You're looking at blueprints, calculating materials, factoring in labor, permits, all sorts of variables. It's like the ultimate headache-inducing spreadsheet nightmare.
Sounds like a job for AI.
Exactly. And that's where Drawer AI comes in. They've trained their algorithms on tons of data so they can analyze all those variables and spit out an accurate estimate way faster than any human ever could.
So less time hunched over spreadsheets and more time, actually building stuff.
Exactly. It's all about bringing that efficiency, that accuracy to a process that's always been prone to like human error, delays, all that stuff that can throw a wrench in the gears of a construction project.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
amazing to see how AI is being applied to like every industry these days. Okay, so speaking of AI, this next one sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Tell me more about this company, Third Dimension. They're doing something with AI in 3D environments.
Oh yeah, Third Dimension is wild. They've basically figured out how to teach AI to see the world in 3D like we do.
Wait, what? How does that even work?
So they feed their AI models massive data sets of 2D images and videos, and the AI, it's kind of mind-blowing, but it learns to stitch all that information together to create these crazy detailed 3D environments.
So you're telling me they could take like a regular video and turn it into a virtual world that I could actually walk around in?
Pretty much.
That is mind-blowing.
It is, and the potential applications are pretty much limitless. I'm talking like virtual reality training simulations for pilots, surgeons, you name it. Or how about video games that look and feel so real it's like you're actually inside the game?
Whoa. It really does seem like the future of content creation. And speaking of the future, let's talk about a company that's using AI to, well, make something that can sometimes feel kind of impersonal, a lot more human. I'm talking about marketing.
Ah, yes. Tilde. They're doing some really interesting things in the world of what they call conversational marketing. You know how frustrating those clunky chatbots can be?
Ugh. Tell me about it. I swear, half the time I'm not even sure I'm talking to a real person.
Exactly. But Tilde's platform is different. They're using AI to have actual genuine conversations with customers.
So are you saying it's like having a whole army of like virtual brand ambassadors who just know exactly what to say to every single customer?
Basically. And because it's all powered by AI, it can juggle thousands of conversations at once, no problem.
Now that is impressive.
Totally. And here's the kicker. It can tailor its responses to each person based on their profile, their past interactions, the whole shebang.
Wow. Talk about personalized marketing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Sustainable lithium, wind power, even those robotic recycling microfactories. Before we move on, I do want to touch on a few other companies that are making waves in some pretty important areas.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the innovation doesn't stop there. There are a few others that are definitely worth a shout out.
For sure. So let's talk about Unify. They're all about helping businesses streamline their sales process, right?
Right. They're using AI to take over those tasks that salespeople, let's be honest, typically hate doing all that data entry, qualifying leads, scheduling meetings.
Sounds familiar. So they're freeing up salespeople to actually, sell. I can get behind that.
Right. And then there's Blue Energy, tackling the future of energy with something pretty wild. Modular nuclear power plants.
Hold on. Did you say modular nuclear power plants? Okay, now my mind is officially blown.
Yeah. Their whole mission is to make nuclear energy, which obviously has had its share of controversies, safer, more efficient, and easier to deploy.
So smaller, more nimble nuclear power plants.
Exactly. That's the whole idea behind modular nuclear.
This is incredible. It's amazing to me just how diverse this whole landscape of innovation really is. We've got everything from those warehouse drones zipping around to AI that can literally build a 3D world from a 2D video.
And let's not forget about those robotic microfactories, giving new life to old electronics. It's truly remarkable.
It's like we've gotten a sneak peek into all these industries that are about to totally explode.
It really shows you how technology is changing everything. We used to think about things in these separate boxes, like here's sustainability, over there is automation, and way over there is like construction. But now it's like all those lines are getting blurry.
Yeah. Sustainability needs automation. Automation needs AI. And hey, turns out even construction can benefit from a little AI magic. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is. And it's happening so fast. It makes you realize we are living in this unprecedented time of technological change.
Totally. Okay, so as we start to wrap up our deep dive here, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Ooh, I like where this is going. A little food for thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've explored so many cool companies today.
Uh-huh.
Everything from those warehouse drones that are straight out of Star Wars to AI that can create a whole virtual world from a single 2D video.
And don't forget about those microfactories, giving those old gadgets a new life, right? So much cool stuff happening.
Right. So here's my question for everyone listening. Which of these amazing companies doing this, groundbreaking work, which one do you think is going to have the biggest impact on your day-to-day life 5, 10 years down the road? What's going to hit closest to home?
It's a tough one. Will it be the convenience of all this automation, having robots and algorithms do all the boring tasks? Or will it be the shift toward clean energy and sustainability? Or maybe it'll be something totally different, something we haven't even thought of yet.
That's the thing. We're living at a time where the future is basically being written right before our very eyes. And the best word is, we all get to be a part of it. So on that note, thanks everyone for joining us for this awesome deep dive into the future. Until next time, stay curious, friends.